Welcome to the deep dive. Today, well, we're looking at what feels like the ultimate shortcut to success. Our mission is to really dig into this powerful motivational framework. It's focused entirely on pulling out the core habits.
The fundamentals?
Exactly. The mindsets, and even some surprisingly specific strategies that people use who don't just, achieve their dreams. They seem to redefine what's possible.
And what's really striking, I think, is how this material just immediately flips the script on what success even is.
Right.
It's not about the usual things we chase. The source kind of pushes back against defining success purely by money or fame or that big house.
Yeah, the status symbols.
Right. It says very clearly true success boils down to one thing: becoming the absolute best version of yourself.
That reframing it's critical, isn't it?
It really is.
Because if you accept that definition, then the whole game changes. The framework suggests the barrier between where you are now and that best version.
Right.
Well, it isn't luck.
Or circumstance.
No, it's simply a commitment to daily structured habits and just refusing to quit. Ever.
Exactly. And the power here, I think, comes from the specifics. It's not just vague advice.
No fluff.
Right. It dissects the actual activities of people we typically see as high achievers.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Let's drill down into that first foundational strategy, the lifetime learning mandate.
Let's start right there, because this seems to be the thread connecting everyone cited, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Oprah, Mark Cuban.
Great name.
Huge names. And the argument is that they're successful because they are relentless lifetime learners. They commit to absorbing new stuff every single day.
And what's fascinating, or maybe intimidating, is that the source doesn't just say, oh, read more.
Right.
It gives actual data points. We're talking Warren Buffett famously reading over 5 hours every day.
5 hours.
Bill Gates, a book a week. Mark Cuban, 3 hours of reading daily. And Oprah is just described as, quote, just obsessed with books.
Okay, wait. 5 hours a day? For most people listening, juggling work, family, maybe studying, that sounds impossible.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make these habits totally unrelatable?
That's a really fair point. And the source kind of touches on that disconnect. The key takeaway isn't necessarily the exact number of hours.
Okay.
It's the priority they give it. These people actively schedule time for learning. It's like a non-negotiable block in their day, often before anyone else is even awake.
So the principle is scalable.
I think so. If you can't do 5 hours, who can? But can you commit to, say, 30 minutes of focused study instead of 30 minutes just scrolling?
Okay, intentional time.
Right. The underlying idea is consistent commitment, not some superhuman feat.
I see. So it's about making learning a primary action, not just something you squeeze in if there's leftover time.
Precisely. And the framework links this directly to tangible results.
Yeah.
Brings up that famous Warren Buffett line. The more you learn, the more you earn.
All right.
But that earning isn't just about money, is it? It's earning capability, earning influence.
A bigger perspective.
Exactly. A more expansive view of the world and your place in it.
And if we look at how they read, it suggests it's not just passive intake either. The implication is active learning. They're synthesizing, connecting dots between different fields, turning raw info into something usable. It's deep understanding, not just ticking off pages.
And zooming out a bit, there's that incredible anecdote about Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah. Tell that one.
Well, one of the wealthiest people on the planet asked what superpower he'd want. He didn't pick flying or, invisibility.
What did he say?
The ability to read books faster.
Wow. That says everything. He's already reading a book a week. And his biggest wish is to just accelerate learning.
Yeah. It implies that for him, the real bottleneck is how fast he can process information. He sees time spent learning as the absolute best investment.
That craving for more time to learn, it's the perfect bridge, isn't it, to the second huge concept in this material.
Absolutely, because to sustain that level of learning, even just 30 minutes a day consistently, you need to manage your time seriously.
Okay, so this is where the analysis shifts from habits to resource management. And it uses this really powerful currency analogy.
Yeah, it's a really sobering way to look at time.
It frames time as capital, like valuable capital.
Yeah.
But it expires every 24 hours.
Right. Imagine waking up and boom, there's $86,400 deposited in your bank account.
Nice chunk of change.
A massive amount. But here's the catch. At midnight, whatever you haven't spent, just poof, vanishes.
Gone forever.
Can't save it, can't roll it over. What would you do? You'd be scrambling to invest it, spend it wisely, maximize every single cent before it disappeared, right?
Absolutely. You wouldn't just let it sit there.
And the devastating reality check the source gives us is, well, we do have 86,400 seconds each day.
Oh, there it is.
And most people treat that time like it's infinite. They just let this precious, non-renewable capital slip away without a second thought. It really makes you ask, are we treating our seconds with the same urgency we'd treat $86,400? Probably not.
That analogy just instantly reframes the cost of distraction, doesn't it?
Completely.
We have to use this time wisely, productively, to actively build the life we want so our future has more of the things we actually want to do.
But here's where we need to be careful, maybe add some nuance. The source focuses on intentionality, but are we meant to be productive robots?
Right. What about rest? Social connection. If the goal is max productivity every single second, doesn't that just lead straight to burnout?
That's a crucial question. And I think the framework implies the warning isn't against leisure itself. It's against unintentional time wasting.
Oh, okay.
The source warns about time spent on, quote, meaningless things. And when it says meaningless, it seems to point towards passive stuff, like endless video game loops where you're not really engaged, or just mindlessly scrolling social media.
Activities where the payoff doesn't match the time spent. Or you just killing time.
It's exactly. The material is basically demanding that you, the listener, become intentional with your time.
Yeah.
If you dedicate those seconds to reading, studying, learning a skill that builds your future self.
Okay.
But if 3 hours just vanish into passive entertainment, that time is gone from that day's ledger forever. The key distinction seems to be purposeful activity, which can include rest versus just passive drift.
So even downtime needs to be intentional. Like if I schedule 2 hours to hang out with friends because I need that social recharge, that's an intentional use of my time currency.
That seems to fit the model, yeah.
But if I just somehow lose 4 hours clicking through YouTube videos, that was accidental waste.
Precisely. The underlying point here is that time is the fuel for those learning habits we talked about earlier.
It connects back.
Yeah. If you're finding it hard to carve out 30 minutes a day for learning, chances are you're probably leaking thousands of seconds somewhere else without even noticing. Mastering this 86,400 second currency is essentially how you fund the lifetime learning mandate.
That ties the first 2 points together perfectly. Okay. But knowing what to do and managing your time, that just gets you to the starting line, right? Now we have to talk about the internal battle, the mindset, resilience. Because sticking with it, that commitment, it gets tested hard.
This is where the source really digs into that self-doubt trap. It shows how the biggest hurdle often isn't the external stuff. It's failing inside your own head before you even start.
Yeah, the failure trap. The source uses that specific example of students. They give up on their dreams because they failed one test.
It's brutal.
And what's even more sobering is the idea that often they didn't even really try their best on the test itself.
Why?
Because they'd already decided in their mind that they were going to fail. They'd already given up internally.
That moment, failing in your mind.
Yeah.
That's the killer insight here. They stopped believing they could do it. And the source is blunt. Once belief is killed, the dream is killed.
So self-doubt isn't just uncomfortable.
It's the assassin. It stops you from even taking action.
And the material insists this is fundamentally a choice. You can choose to let that failure define you, or you choose to see it differently.
Absolutely. Connecting this to the bigger picture, the core message here reframes failure entirely. It's not the end. It's actually a mandatory part of the process.
Like tuition cost?
Sort of. Life itself is the test. You will fall down, probably many times on the road to anything meaningful.
Okay.
The most important thing isn't avoiding the fall. It's that you get back up. Stronger, hopefully wiser, more informed than before. The only way you can truly fail, according to this source,
is if you stop trying.
Exactly. If you quit.
That puts all the power, all the control back on the listener, doesn't it? Failure is just data. Quitting is the choice.
And this demands action. The source is really direct here. If you want results you've never gotten before, guess what?
You have to do things you've never done before.
Right. It means channeling all that intentional 86,400 second energy into making your dream happen. Constantly pushing past that inner voice telling you to stop, pushing to become the person you have the potential to be.
But practically speaking, how do you build a mindset that just doesn't allow quitting? Is it just, chanting positive thoughts?
Probably not just that. The framework suggests it's more like training a muscle. Resilience isn't something you just have or don't have.
You build it.
You build it through small wins. By creating an environment, even just in your head, that supports effort, you actually acknowledge getting up the day after a setback. That's a win.
Okay.
You focus on the fact that you showed up for the next test, even if you felt beaten down. It creates this internal momentum, this commitment that starts to override temporary feelings of defeat.
It's about building that forward motion, that inertia, and the material is crystal clear. If you quit, if you give up,
You'll never know.
you'll never know how great you could have been. The second you stop, you guarantee the very outcome you were afraid of.
Right. It's about taking quitting off the table as an option in your mind.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you listening right now? We've seen that hitting your potential seems to rest on these three connected pillars. First, that intense commitment to daily learning, even if it's just 30 minutes, not the full 5 hours.
Consistency over volume.
Second, funding that commitment by truly valuing your time, seeing it as irreplaceable capital. Those 86,400 seconds.
Every single day.
But holding both of those things up, the learning habit, the time management requires that third piece.
A fierce, non-negotiable belief in yourself. That resilience is what lets you budget your precious seconds towards the hard work of learning day after day, especially when you don't see results right away.
And that brings us back full circle, doesn't it? To that critical line from the source defining the single biggest thing holding people back.
Yeah. Never doubt yourself, because doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
Wow. Say that again?
Doubt kills more dreams than failure. Failure is just, it's a data point. It's an expected part of the test of life.
All right.
But doubt stops you from even showing up to the next house. It wipes out your time currency. It shuts down your learning. It stops everything.
So we know successful people crave more time to learn, that Bill Gates anecdote. So here's the final thought for you. If you had that superpower, if you could instantly read faster like Bill Gates wished he could, what specific knowledge, what skill would you commit your 86,400 seconds a day to starting tomorrow, knowing that the only real enemy you face is your own self-doubt?
Think about how you're spending that capital right now. Try to apply these insights. Prioritize learning something new, treat your time like the precious resource it is, and work on building that belief in where you're headed. Never stop trying.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.